Bill Rhoden, sports journalist, author, and now a role with Anscape. Can you tell us about that?
So called ESPN Anscape. Anscape is one of the verticals of ESPN, and we kind of do we deal with the intersection of race and culture. We have a lot of really great writers. We do a lot of the culture of sports. We do, in commentary, we do a lot of the stuff that maybe ESPN may not do. They say, okay, y'all do that, you know. So I write a regular column. It's called Locker Room Talk. But I think maybe one of the most important things I do is that when I came to, we were originally known as The Undefeated. And when I left the Times and came to The Undefeated, such as Anscape, one of the things they did, they set up a fellowship in my name. They're called the Roden Fellows. And so each year we give.
Let's not just soft sell that. The Roden Fellows, that's a big deal. And when you say the Times, it's not just some small backwater paper. Like, Bill Rhoden is a big deal.
Well, okay. I'm into the here and now, man. You know, but no. So the Roden Fellows is this. So I went to an HBCU. I went to Morgan State, and so each year we'll select 6 young people from 6 HBCUs, and we give them a 1-year paid fellowship. And what they do is basically produce content for us. They're our eyes and ears on these historical black campuses. Because and we just named our 9th class, and our 2nd straight class of all black women. And they spend the summer in Bristol, Connecticut, to kind of meet people and know production and how this stuff works. But the idea behind it was that, again, I went to an HBCU, and, you know, who would have thought I would have spent 34 years at the New York Times and ESPN. So I still write, but the idea, and this is kind of what the movie was about bringing people along. That's kind of where I am now. Like, how do we bring in the next generation of young African-American journalists? So that's kind of, I still am writing. I wrote a book called $40 Million Slaves, The Rise, Fall, the Origin of the Black Athlete. The 20th anniversary of that will be next year. So I'm now talking to people about, we're going to have events, hopefully around the country, to talk about where are we 20 years later. Are we still, it was 40 million slaves in 2009. Maybe now it's like 60 million, I don't know. But the whole idea of the relationship between power and black athletes really has not fundamentally changed. So you didn't ask me, but that's
No, I'm glad that you went there, because you talked about where you sit with Anscape at the cross-section of culture and sports and race. And you've always sat at that intersection with the books that you've written. What better place than the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival, a place for black creatives to have this discussion? Do you think that it has changed, where you see these contracts that, like you said, $60 million a year for a basketball player, but when you look at the ownership and you look at the coaching and you look at the executive level, we don't see ourselves represented anywhere but the field. So what are your thoughts on that?
Those are my thoughts. It has really fundamental. And by the way, I think this is the 23rd year for the festival.
Yes, sir.
I think it's such a great thing. I mean, we need more of that in our community. We need more continuity, more great institutions, things that have been around for 10, 20, 30 years. So the fact that this film festival has been operating at this high level for 23 years, it really is an honor to be here and to be part of this, because it's really it's a great institution. But to answer your question about where we are, I just think that, you know, in a society where money has become our highest value, that's an issue, because when money is the highest value, everything has a price. Morality has a price. What you stand for has a price. And I think I see that a lot, even in the NBA, the NFL, where people are getting paid. And I think that even in college with name, image, likeness, young guys are making a lot of money. And I think as opposed to them feeling, it used to be when they were getting exploited and not getting paid, there was a sense of tension about mission. But now they're getting paid. They say, man, I don't want to challenge the system. I want to be part of the system. So we're at a hell of a we're at a hell of a crossroads, man, with the addition of, where we are in terms of the atmosphere of the country, the administration, trying to dismantle everything, trying to dismantle everything that our ancestors built. And the question is, how are we going to resist? How is your generation going to resist? What stories are you going to tell? How are you going to risk? What are you willing to risk? Like we watch all these, this film fest, you see all these stories about guys, houses getting firebombed and people really getting lynched. And that's real sacrifice. And so the question is, for this generation, man, I don't know if I want to risk that. So, again, I don't know, man.
Well, I will end with, it brings us joy to read your work. You continue to write, you continue to inspire. What brings Bill Rhoden joy? What sparks joy for you?
Shit, man, I'm still trying to... I like being published. I love mentoring. I love each new class of fellows. I love it. I teach a course at the Cronkite School, Arizona State, and I'm just fascinated that people still want to get in this industry. So yeah, I just had my first grandchild, the second one on the way. That's a source of joy. I'm thinking, man, can I still keep? By the time Kasi is 10, will he know what I'm doing? So that might be the source of like a memoir. I got to do a memoir just so you'll know that I was here. So all that stuff gives me joy, man.
Well, come back next year with your book's 20-year anniversary, and hopefully there will be some projects behind it that we can do something with.
Well, thank you for this.